everybody out there on the internets, welcome to the Philly Film Features 1000 subscriber special. Before I get into what all of you have asked, I guess I should do the pleasantries. The expected things, you could say. First and foremost, thank you for those of you who have subscribed to the channel. I never really intended this channel to do much of anything. I didn't even think I was going to get this big, which, in the grand scheme of YouTube is not very big. But here we are. This channel was pretty much created to serve as venting for me. Well, especially Philly Film Reviews. I did some stuff prior with Philly Film Features, just little creative outlets that I had, but especially when Philly Film Reviews became a thing, that was because I needed an outlet to get my anger out. Some of you have probably figured through all of my rantings and ravings that I have a PhD and I teach college somewhere, and so they don't really like it when you yell at students, even though it's probably warranted. So I started doing this. I've always been a fan of badly produced media. I think that stuff is hilarious. Oftentimes I like to show it in my classes because it serves as a more striking lesson than showing when things are executed properly when you show things that aren't. And so they're like, oh, that makes sense. So I've always been a fan. And like I say, it's been my therapy to, mock these things that I find, because it always impresses me. Thank you for that. I really needed to know about an update. I should have muted the whole damn thing, but there we go. Anywho, again, thank you for your patronage, your continued viewing. You don't have to. There are way better options out there. And again, thank you a lot. So I'm going to go through some of this, and I'm going to talk about some of the plans that I have for upcoming for the channel, and we'll see how this all goes. So, a number of you have congratulated me on the milestone that is 1,000. Again, thank you all. Can't believe that was this was a thing. So some of you think I'm one of you thinks I'm friggin' hilarious. Thank you. I've never really thought of myself as funny, but I just know that on occasion I could get my fellow faculty members to giggle at stuff, so I figured maybe I ought to give this stuff a shot. Oh, I got somebody here with some questions. 2 questions and 2 requests. What made you want to start watching and reviewing all this bizarre media? Again, I always loved badly produced stuff. I think my biggest inspiration in that aspect would be Mystery Science Theater 3000. A lot of people who are close to my age or even younger who do this sort of thing often cite them a lot. They are also the people behind Riff Tracks, Cinematic Titanic, and a couple other things. Because when they started doing that sort of stuff in the late 1980s, early 1990s, and throughout that decade, it was unheard of. I mean, people, would make comments in a movie theater, but that whole show was like basically like what the internet comment section would come to be. So it's sort of this forerunner, and I always found that those group of writers to be funny and hilarious, and I kind of model what I do after them. Second question. Okay. Alright. If you were stuck on an island with the Olsen twins, Wabu, and the cookie-counting granny. That granny. Who would you kill and eat first to stay alive? Well, there would be killing, but there'd be no eating because I would kill myself. I don't need to be on an island with any of them ever. So I would swim out to sea until I died of exhaustion and drown. That's pretty much what would happen. None of them actually really irk me. The only one that really kind of got me was the cookie counting granny. I don't know what her deal was. The Olsen twins, look, they've suffered enough. They don't need anything. I mean, Wabu is just a product of his time. I totally get that. But the only thing the cookie counting granny is by far the strangest thing that I've seen, especially because I know it's a dude and it's bad rapping and it's a bad Christian rapping. So it's just like, what is this? So it kind of really caught me off guard when I reviewed it. Some requests. Be a safe rider. Escalator safety video. I'm in. And Barney and the Backyard Gang, A Day at the Beach. So, this was back when Barney was doing the pilot before they got picked up for public broadcasting. Yeah, I'll think about those. I've got some things lined up right now, but I will definitely keep those in mind. Have I ever watched the... Next question. Have I ever watched or heard of the Disney Afternoon? I grew up with the Disney Afternoon. If it's what I'm thinking of, which is, DuckTales, Chippendale Rescue Rangers, Gummy Bears was in there originally, Darkwing Duck, things like that. I love that stuff. I mean, when I came home from school, when I was much younger, that was a pretty good series of shows. Like all of them were pretty good. I was mainly either an outdoor kid or I played video games. I would still watch that stuff on occasion, especially when I got grounded. I would watch that stuff because I wasn't allowed to play my video games if I got bad grades. So there's that. But yeah, I remember that stuff. Also, this person found me when they saw my Cindy the Fairy Princess movie review. I had no idea about Cindy. I just remember I stumbled upon that and I couldn't say no. I looked at it and thought that this was so bizarre that and when I was watching it and then I started doing the research for it, that it was like the British version of Barbie, and how the horse looked like, someone who definitely came from Britain because of those teeth. Woo! It was that was a unique episode. Another person asks, will I ever riff on any more episodes of Beverly Hills Teens? I've thought about it. Beverly Hills Teens I riffed on way early in the channel's life. That was still when I was getting my PhD. And I was doing that that was more reactionary stuff. And I'm not a fan of reaction videos. That's why even though half the channel, what I'm doing is reaction, well, direct to riff is more of a reaction thing, but I'd like to think it's a step above reaction videos, because I don't just sit there, slack-jawed saying nothing. I kind of just off the top of my head say dumb things that might be funny. But yeah, I'd love to give Beverly Hills Teens another shot. I've seen that they have the complete season, because they only had one, shocking as it is, on DVD. I'd think about it again. I can't remember the character's name with the really big hair that's like 3 times her body width. Yeah, no, it's so, like, out of touch with humanity. I would definitely do that. What made you want to start being a YouTuber? I really didn't set out to be a YouTuber. Like I said, this was more along the lines of a therapy, for good or for bad. And have I heard of the Adventures with Superman? My Adventures with Superman. I have. I've seen snippets, but I've not watched it. I've seen like clips of the odd chemistry that Superman and Lois Lane have. At least I think. I don't know. It looks cute, but I'm a little curious. I think it's on Adult Swim, which to me already sounds like, what? Why is this on Adult Swim? Superman's like all wholesome. Why would he be on this? But I really haven't. I'm sorry. So I can't really say anything. Oh, somebody has a recommendation because they related to Twinkle Toes. Twinkle Toes has a special place in my heart. So the funny thing about Twinkle Toes, I discovered the first video in a Dollar General. It was just there, and I watched it and couldn't believe that it was actually related to a shoe product. And then I discovered that it had a sequel, and I had to get it. Twinkle Toes is one of those things where there's a couple of things that I've reviewed that I liked. I kind of have a special relationship with. Probably not in any way wholesome in terms of, like, it's not pleasant. It's just like, oh yeah, this will be with me till the day I die. Twinkle Toes is one of them. Because it's so sad. Like, I did a review of that series every year for 3 years. And it was so sad to watch that just shrivel up and die. Like I thought the first movie was like the animation was stiff and it didn't look right, but then I was wrong. I watched the New York movie and wow, yeah, no, it went downhill quick. And then the the whole thing with the YouTube web series. Oh my god. Like the fact that there was one episode that had like 3 or 5 minutes of just black video.
Hey, it was the only way I could save face.
Webisode? Where did you go? I'm scared and confused. Are you serious, man? Like that's you screwed up bad if you uploaded that and then somebody didn't say anything and you just kept it. That's impressive. But apparently, this person says that there's something called Zevo 3, which is based on Skechers superhero characters. So it's still Skechers. Out of morbid curiosity, I think I'm going to have to look at that one. And the second is Heidi and the High Tops movie, based on another girl's shoes by Skechers. So wait, they're all Skechers related? Like, Twinkle Toes is Skechers property. You're telling me they did it again? Like, they didn't learn? Or... Oh my god, I'm gonna have to look those up. Like, in my head, so many things are, like, turning here, like... That... Oh, yeah, no, I'm gonna have to look those up. I'm gonna definitely have to look those up. Especially the Heidi and the High Tops, that just sounds... Like, the fact that you don't even spell High Tops right, it's Hytops, and it's a movie, no, I'm in. I will find this. I will find this, definitely. This person says they found me from my old gaming channel, after, my, wow, the BronyCon 2015 video. So yeah, when I was getting my PhD, I was doing presentations at BronyCon. Wow, the 2015 one. So that would have been like a midnight presentation. Like, they showed me way late. I didn't like that one. But I would talk about my research, and it's a whole thing. I'm not gonna bore you with it. But basically, I got my PhD watching ponies. That is a real thing. It is true. You can actually find it on the internet if you look. It's open. It's public access. You can look it up. I don't recommend it. It's 300 some odd pages of boring. Please don't. But you can do it. Just don't. So, this one I actually started watching from Bratz Rock Angels. The funny thing about Bratz Rock Angels, that is an extension, believe it or not, from the gaming channel. Back when I had that going, Philly Film Games, that was my partner Eric and I, back in North Dakota. We played Bratz Rock Angels for, I forget if it was Wii or GameCube, or maybe it was PS2. I don't remember what it was, but I think it was PS2. We played, PS2. I'm pretty sure. And like, it was so bad. Like, we had a blast playing that game. Well, Eric played it. I just sit there and mouth off. That's what I'm good at. So, hey, thanks for finding that. And I'm glad you enjoyed it. Me at that convention. That was a really odd one. At least that panel. Oh, this one's from like an original fan. Or at least, found an old one first. The Tony Hawk Boom Boom Sabotage review. The funny thing about the Boom Boom Sabotage review is that was the last thing Mainframe made as Mainframe Entertainment. And I remember Mainframe making Reboot. And the fact that they had, done like a decade of this good animation. I mean, they did Beast Wars and whatnot. And, like, I enjoyed them. And then the last thing they do before becoming what they ended up becoming, and all they did was pump out Barbie films after that, which is a fate worse than death, was this Boom Boom Sabotage. Because if you remember in that video, like, I show off some of my skating ability. That's, how I get my exercise. And, like, I'm skating a half pipe and doing some grinds and whatnot. And, skateboarding to me has always been this popular thing, and I'm over here in rollerblading and whatnot. It's a whole cultural thing. We don't need to talk about it, but like, here's something that is accepted as this really cool thing, and you get this really gross movie. Like, there's just so much bizarre stuff going on in there, and with some really outdated references. Like, I get them, because I'm old. 12-year-olds aren't gonna get this. It's just bizarre, and, like, the characters do look kind of gross. It's not fun or funny. It's just, ugh. But, oh. So the other question they ask is, what 1980s MLP episode is your channel profile from? I don't remember the exact name of the episode, but that is from a series that is from G2, what some people call G2, others will argue about it. But it's from a series called My Little Pony Tales. That is the picture of Teddy from that series, unless you're talking about the banner. The banner is from G3, I think. I don't remember what episode, but the profile pic is definitely G2, My Little Pony Tales, and that's Teddy. He did some really weird facial animation stuff in there. If you want to see, even if you're not a fan of My Little Pony, but if you want to see bad writing, horrible animation that's like, what the hell? And stories that are like the worst kinds of reinforcement for children of any age. You watch My Little Ponytails. It is some of the most batshit insane stuff you will ever see.
Yeah, a rough, tough boy pony like you? No way! We were just trying to give you a hard time.
And you'll never, ever mention the subject ever again? No way!
Wouldn't think of it.
In that case, it's a deal!
If you really sit down and watch it, it's morally reprehensible. Like the things that they do in this series. And the thing about it was, nobody really knew much about it because it was on the Disney Channel. And the Disney Channel back then was a paid premium channel. It wasn't like, oh, you had cable and you got the Disney Channel. No, it was like HBO and Cinemax back then. You paid extra to get it because they didn't have commercials. So the fact that, My Little Pony was on a Disney station, and you got all this weirdness happening is really strange. And why did you use that as your? Because it was as a profile pic. Because it's weird. It's just so weird. Because it's like so out of left field from the way that the characters look. Like, I couldn't help it. It's pretty much the reason why I kept it. I mean, I've been thinking about this, and thank you for all the questions. That's all the questions. I don't want to bore you with everything. I've been thinking about doing some other things. I don't want to say like a rebranding, because I've never really had a brand, nor do I care for brands. But I've been thinking about updating some stuff. I mean, it took me 7 years from the beginning of the review stuff to get to 1,000. Maybe it's time to update. I don't know. So I'm thinking about that. Some other things. I'm going to do a 1,000 subscriber special review. But it's not going to be coming out for a couple of weeks. I figured since it was relatively close to the anniversary, because I believe it's September 17th is my anniversary of starting this channel. Starting the reviews, I should say. That I'm going to do the 1,000 subscriber review episode, I guess you could say. Primarily because I already had August planned out, and I'm not going to reveal that because it's a doozy. Like, when I found this, I was like, oh, yes. Yes, please. So, you gotta sit through August first. You gotta sit through this August review first before we get to, September and what I've got planned for that. So, yeah, there's that. Also, basically all the September episodes are going to be tributes for the 1,000 subscribers. I've already got plans for the direct to riff and the Philly Film riffs, but you are all in control of what Give It a Shot will be. You can thank my wife for this. She came up with this idea that I figured I'd follow through. And it's going to be posted here shortly, if it's not already. You're going to have a voters poll on two potential videos that I should give a shot, and all you're going to get is basically what I do. I just look at the cover, and that's it. And you vote, and I will settle on a date, and then I will watch whatever one you choose, because it's down to 2 of them. They're both kind of similar, but they're really weird. And the thing that my wife recommended that's going to make this even more interesting, she's the one that does the grocery shopping, and she knows that I do this thing with the energy drinks that I really can't handle because they're just disgusting. It's just a thing that I do that I find hilarious. But that episode is going to be these dollar store energy drinks that she found, and I mean, she found some stuff when she heard that this was going to happen. And this is what So she's got me these 5 energy drinks, and I'm gonna have tumblers here for them, and they all look more rancid than the last. So yeah, you might want to start getting ready to vote. Like I say, I'm only showing you the front cover of these 2 things, and you vote, and then I'm doing it. Because they both look bad, no matter which one I get. I'm going to suffer that day, and I'm going to suffer for my art. So thank you for that. Anywho, that is pretty much what's coming down the line. And I thank you for listening to me. Thank you for the 1,000 of you that have subscribed to me. Again, I never thought that would even happen. Like I said, this is just a hobby. Never really intended to get, too much in the way of like becoming a YouTuber or anything like that. It's just a therapy for me, and I still do it. That's why even though I've had like low video counts relatively, I don't care. It's what I do to get over the stresses of the day, pretty much. So yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Who knows? Maybe I'll do this again if I hit 2,000. When I'm 50 or something like that. So yeah. Until next time, people. Toodle.